putting forth.
It was tied up at 11, and then Edwards went on a personal run to carry this Houston team to the 9-point lead. As Shed misses the first free throw. They have some guys that can absolutely take over games on both sides. We saw Anderson and Bryce Williams do that for Oklahoma State in their last game out. And Sasser, Shed, White, they've all shown the ability to do that for Houston.
Yeah, I think advantage goes Oklahoma State if they can get the speed of the game up high pace.
Oh, the rejection, but a whistle as Reggie Chaney was right there with Likely.
And Likely did a good job of creating a little contact. They got him there on the baseline. And Likely, they move around, Lowell. Sometimes he's up front. He plays multiple positions. And he's one of these guys. He's not almost, he is. He's a positionless player because he can bring the ball up. He's not doing that a lot today, but he can play the point position. He can play a little bit of the small forward, power forward. The problem is, though, Lowell, he doesn't shoot the ball extremely well. Doesn't like to shoot it. He only shot 8 threes this year, and he shoots a very low percentage, but he also is a very unselfish player. As we talked to Coach today, he's still trying to find himself with Cade Cunningham going on to the NBA, but before Cade got here, he was the man.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he's not the man, and then now Coach is trying to get him to be the man. And so the emotional effects of that are still lingering, if you will, but at some point he's got to get on to playing basketball because he's a fine ball player.
This was a guy that was honorable mention all Big 12 the year before Cunningham showed up, as Oklahoma State with the steal, Williams with the bucket. Houston breaks out of it. It looked like Carlton was open. White didn't see it in time. Shed to White. Another three-point attempt. Oklahoma State, they're going to lose this one. Fighting over the rebound, and it goes off the Cowboys.
Well, that was an unfortunate missed rebound opportunity for Oklahoma State, simply because, Lowell, a little bit of the momentum was shifting. You had the offensive rebound and then the putback finish, and now you possibly get a stop. Give yourself a chance to get back in this game, but you give Houston another crack at it. Houston's so difficult to deal with, Lowell, on the offensive rebounds because of the aggression up front.
They are number 10 nationally in offensive rebound percentage, as that's going against Fabian White. It's called with the charge.
That's rare for Fabian, meaning he's going to seek a basket here. He's got his mind made up. You're telegraphing what you're going to do. That's excellent defense. And that's atypical to what he's shown us before now in this game. He's allowed offensive opportunities to come his way versus seeking them out when they weren't there.
Williams, beautiful drive, and will go to the line. Walker called for the foul. And before that, it was Woody Newton, transfer from Syracuse, to put the body on the line to draw that charge. Here's Williams.
Yeah, and Williams didn't get over in time or far enough out. Foot in the restricted area, and Williams did a great job of taking the hit and trying to get the finish. You're really in that situation, Lowell. You're trying to beat someone to a spot. It's all your other sport, baseball. It's almost like when you run into a base and you're trying to get that ball there before he does. And in that case, Williams was just too late for the speed coming downhill.
Back-to-back games now that Bryce Williams is carrying the offensive load for Oklahoma State.
And I'm sorry, Walker was too late. I said Williams. Walker for Houston was too late.
Here's some more court pressure by Oklahoma State. Williams, by the way, with 8 points. This was a guy that averaged 7 points per game last season, up to 11. So increasing his production post Cade Cunningham. Shed with the shake. And a deflection, but it will stay with U of H.
Yeah, they've got to know there's only 4 seconds on the shot clock here. And Oklahoma State has to be cognizant and careful. One, they don't foul, but even more importantly, you don't give up something really easy here because there's not a lot of time left on this shot clock.
And that is a flop warning on Kyler Edwards. So that is a new initiative officials are looking at this season, trying to take flopping out of the game.
And flopping goes both ways, defense and offense.
Rejected. Elevating for the swat is Tyreek Smith.
And that was a beautiful block. That was a block after the ball was released, but Williams got a little bit overzealous, kept moving. You got to know that Walker is the guy taking all the charges. Watch him jump after the ball. See, the ball leaves and then Smith gets up. Beautiful block.
Looks like Jawan Roberts also lost the footing before that shot.
A little jump stop would have helped Williams, but really there was nowhere to go or reason to run him over. That being Walker. Oklahoma State back with some backcourt pressure.
So the freshman from Pearland, Texas, drawing his second charge of the game. Third of the young season. He's playing 2 games. From the corner, no good for Edwards. And likely down with Carleton, and it's going to be a held ball.
Yeah, possession, Houston.
Cougars up top here in Fort Worth, 21-16.
Season finale of Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Another season almost in the books.
Yep, it's gonna be a long off season.
Off season?
What do we do in the off season?
Off season?
Relax, we don't stop existing when the season ends.
Yeah, it's not like we live in some fictional town that's part of some elaborate marketing campaign.
What would it even be for? Dr. Pepper?
We're real people. It's not like we're the ice cold Dr. Pepper guy.
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Why do nearly 1 million businesses choose Stamps.com to mail and ship? No more trips to the post office. No more paying full price for postage. And great rates from USPS and UPS. Mail letters. Ship packages. Anytime, anywhere. For less. A lot less. Get our special TV offer. A 4-week trial plus postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com/try and never go to the post office again.
New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan. 100% authentic fan gear. Fanatics, officially licensed everything.
Ooh, that's really cool.
Check that out. Bespoke Post sends you awesome boxes every month for a great price, and I love it. The variety's great. I love how easy and flexible it is.
Head to BespokePost.com and get a free gift with your first box when you enter code FREE.
Taze Moore and Tremont Mark did not travel for Houston. Fortunately, Kyler Edwards and Fabian White showed up from the tip.
Well, Edwards is showing up in a huge way. No one wants to guard him. They're not trusting that 31% from beyond the arc. And then Fabian, of course, has been exceptional, not chasing baskets, showing his ability to score at every level, including beyond the arc. As a player, you've got to get better, and that's the area he's shown that he can be not only a front court player doing things around the basket, but he can do things out on the perimeter.
Edwards and White with 18, the rest of the team with 3. 0 from the man wearing that number on his chest, Marcus Sasser, the leading scorer. Nice dump down to Josh Carleton. 17 points his last game against Louisiana. This his second straight start at center. He was the starting guy for 2 years in the middle of that attack for the UConn Huskies.
Yeah, that was a great finish, and I'm looking at the defense. Just hard to guard people. When someone's going downhill, you see the help has to come, and then no one drops, and Anderson is caught on the outside. Great finish.
Up to 5 assists and 1 turnover from Jamal Shedd. He is so good at setting up others. Sasser into the box score with his first bucket. And Houston taking control, 26-16. Edwards and White got him going. Now Sasser gets on the board for the Cougars.
You want fries with that?
Introducing Wendy's new hot and crispy fries. Preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. Try them today, only at Wendy's.
At Napa, get great deals on a variety of Craftsman tools to gift the DIYer in your family. Like the Craftsman 20-volt drill driver combo for just $119. They'll never see it coming. When it comes to finding you great holiday deals, our motor never quits.
For Marcus Sasser, it's simply in the blood. His uncles, Jason and Gerald, two fantastic players. Jason, Southwest Conference Player of the Year, 96 for Tech. Gerald, WAC Player of the Year in 1999. And this is Dallas legacy here. Kimball High School is where the Sasser brothers played. Marcus Sasser, Red Oak High School. This is their town, the Metroplex.
And this is home. And I think, I don't want to create any family issues, but I think this Sasser really might be the best of them all.
Okay.
But he had the advantage. He got to see the two uncles before him do major work.
That's a deep one there for Marcus Sasser. Here comes Likely running with Anderson. Oh, the nice little Euro step and finish. That's where Isaac Likely is at his best.
Well, he's very good around the basket and finishing. Not much of a high flyer, but he's big, strong guy who's very grounded, so it's not easy to block his shots or keep him from getting to the basket, whether it be open floor or in half-court situations.
Carlton feels the double. Two Shed weaving through traffic. Nice bounce for Jamal Shed. His first field goal of the night.
Well, and how about that? As good as Shed is and willing to share the ball as well as Sasser, to have this kind of lead and not be getting a lot of offense tonight from this guy, these two guys, just tells you how good this Houston team is.
Donovan Williams delivering the three. Williams is such a great, inspiring story. Like most of these players, they're used to being in the limelight. He was the Mr. Basketball of the state of Nebraska. Came to Oklahoma State, played in 6 games last season, did not even score, hurt his knee, out for the season. So the first time in his life, as Shed puts that one off the glass, first time in Donovan Williams' life that he had to sit the bench and watch. He had trouble sleeping. He became depressed, but he went and got help. He went and talked with counselor, seek professional guidance and help, and now he says he feels like himself again. And as that Sasser for three, Williams' message is, it's okay to say that I'm not okay. There are people to always help you.
Yeah, mental health is such an important factor, and I'm just glad that here in this era of our society that it's become something that people can talk about more openly.
Yes.
A lot of people like to equate it to a level of toughness or not. It's a great thing to keep your mind in a great space, and you talk about great space. Look at that launch of that three by Williams. Got some nice head space there, and then Sasser, you got to press up on him. You can't go you can't go under screens with Sasser. He's just too dangerous low from beyond the arc. And he has the full green light to knock down threes. Shoots 45% from there. Up until that point, hadn't scored. Allows the game to come to him because he knows he's going to get his shots. His shots attempted when the game is over.
And not forcing it up until that point.
Correct. Yeah, he can allow it to come to him because he's going to play a ton of minutes. He's also going to get a ton of shots.
Cougars 6 of 11 from outside. Carlton in trouble. And that's going to be a help ball there. Possession going the way of Oklahoma State. Fine defense by Donovan Williams. We have a fantastic hoops doubleheader Tuesday on ESPN2 with the ESPN app. We begin with the top 3 women's game. A rematch of last season's semifinals. Stanford against #1 South Carolina at 7 o'clock. And off to Boulder for an old school Big 8 matchup. Kansas and Colorado. 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Here you see Likely. He has no pressure on him. They're trying to force him to get the shot up.
Oh, tough angle. It doesn't have to be pretty with Isaac Likely. He's got that running back build and playing that point guard spot. Physicality, toughness, it's all part of his game.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But yeah, they spaced him and tried to force him to shoot the ball. He did exactly what you're supposed to do. Walk that closer to the basket and try to get a better look.
Now Oklahoma State needs to start putting together some stops. Tough bucket there. And Fabian White barking a little bit. He has been amazing tonight. Likely, trying to take over. Gets his own miss. 3 defenders on him. To Moncrief. Oh, can't get the roll.
Yeah, Likely has such big hands. Gets a lot of stuff done around the basket with rebounds. He's really got really good hands as well. That's why he was able to get that offensive rebound of his missed shot.
But meanwhile, it's the Fabian White show. He's up to 9 points. And the Cougars starting to stretch it out.
This flag isn't backwards. It's facing this way because it's moving forward. Just like the men and women who wear it on their uniforms. And the country it represents. They're all only meant to move one direction, which is why we fly it this way. On the flanks of the all-new Grand Wagoneer, moving boldly and unstoppably forward.
So you think Santa will like these red and green M&Ms?
I don't know. I never met the guy. He does exist!
They do exist. Santa?
We make sit-down chicken, stand-up chicken, backyard chicken, oops chicken, lots of time chicken, no time chicken. If there's one thing we know, it's chicken, chicken, and chicken. More choices, more wow, more to love. Tyson.
Hulu has live TV? Hulu has live sports?
They do.
It also has over 75 live channels.
Woo! Flip like cable, stream like Hulu.
It's the 8th annual Basketball Hall of Fame Women's Showcase at Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut tomorrow on ESPN. Number 5 Baylor against 13th ranked Michigan at 1. And then following that, Louisville and UConn on the go. It's on the app too. UConn struggling right now. Lost to Georgia Tech on the 9th. First loss against an unranked team since 2012. Paige Beckers, one of the best players in America, knee surgery, out for 8 weeks. Meanwhile here in Fort Worth, that young man having the time of his life in the oversized hat.
Cowboys.
Got to get one of those. That's the look here in Cowtown.
I like it. I like it, buddy. What you
That's a 40-gallon hat.
Is that what that is?
I'm assuming. How about that?
Okay. 40. Is it like 40 gallons of something?
I don't know.
Okay.
Nacho cheese under that bad boy.
40 gallons of nacho cheese, man.
That will keep you going.
Yeah, I could never look like you, man, and be all stealthy looking.
Here's Likely over the Walker. Nice first step. And to Boone in the corner. No good. Williams fighting for the rebound, but it's going to go to the Cougars.
Yeah, that was excellent ball movement. You saw Likely, he had an open look, swung it to the corner to Boone, who didn't have as great of a look. But Likely, he's not going to shoot that ball much, but he's got to figure out a way to put the defense on his heels, even if he drives it hard. Try to get to the rim, but it's really a problem if he's not going to shoot that ball when he's got a wide open look.
And that's a travel on Carlton.
We've seen Carlton do that a few times now. What that is, Lowell, he's thinking, if I get the ball here on the block, I've got to go score the ball. And that's not necessarily the case. A lot of college guys often get caught up in that. Sometimes you can be a decoy and bring double teams over, or sometimes just kick the ball out. He's getting a little ahead of himself on the block, thinking he's got to score every time he touches it down there.
Walker on Walker, good pass to Moncrief, who's fouled. For Oklahoma State, they got to put a run together here. Down 35-23 with 2:14 left to play here in the first half. And Houston is one of those teams tough to come back against. They have so much firepower to go along with such a harassing defense.
Well, the one area where Houston really ends up beating teams is on the offensive boards. But to your point of weapons, you've got Sasser in the back court. You have the front court with Carlton and Fabian and guys that really rebound the basketball.
Look at these ranks here, though, Lance. For Calvin Sampson and the Houston defense. 4th best in scoring margin, 8th in steals, 9th in turnover margin, 10th in scoring defense. And so you combine that with a well-oiled machine offensively. This team, it's hard to believe they went to the Final Four and lost 4 starters, and they're back.
Yeah, and Lowell, you might remember we did a game recently, and I said the key to life and for quality of life is balance, and the key to winning in college basketball is balance, and you saw it there in those numbers. As Fabian misses the jump hook, lots of balance with ways that they can beat you. The thing that graphic didn't show is personnel on top of that.
Yeah, and personality. Making plays like that, likely turning this into a football scrum. The reverse layup, that is a huge determined basket there by Isaac Likely.
Yeah, he did a beautiful job too. The way he dribbled that coming out of the pack, essentially it wasn't a long distance, but he just threw the ball out in front of himself, went and got it, and used the rim to protect himself. Those high flyers for Houston to keep it from getting blocked.
Pull up. No good from Sasser. Another offensive rebound. Why not for the Cougars? Oh, it's taken away. Here's Walker, transition, and the lay-in by Avery Anderson. This is the run the Cowboys needed. Back into it with a minute left in the first half.
Yeah, Anderson, the jet he is, but how about Walker taking that all the way to the rim and forcing the defense to commit? Got those guys out of the way for Anderson to finish an excellent break by Oklahoma State.
Sasser contested 3, no. Walker with the rebound. Likely lobs it up. Moncrief with the finish.
Did you see that pass by Likely?
Wow. Hey, look at the smile on his face. He's feeling it.
Because he tricked everybody in the arena. There was a man in the corner blocking my view, and a man shooting down to the paint. Likely throws that up. That was a beautiful look-away pass for the basket, Lowell.
Isaac Likely is saying, follow me. First off, you get the takeaway from Rondell Walker. Leaps it for Avery Anderson, and this is the thing of beauty right here.
Yeah, look at the look away. It forced the defense to commit in an area where they didn't see people coming, and that was what got you excited about this man. They call him Ice.
Yeah, because that's what's going through his veins.
Yeah, Ice was going through his veins. He's a unique player because he doesn't show you a lot offensively in terms of scoring the ball, but he's also extremely unselfish. He plays to win, and Houston has pulled out or forced him to pull out some of his bag of tricks, Lowell. You said you were headed for a little trickery as a young fella. That was a little magical there on that fast break.
7-0 run for Oklahoma State, and they were looking for that spark. Had to get it defensively, but you just get the sense now that Likely's back in this game. He's the guy that needs to get going for Oklahoma State. He's out there. He's barking a little bit. Got a good second half coming up. Here's Edwards. Had a really good start. Been a little quiet since then. Anderson with the D. Sasser taken away by Boone. Oklahoma State has the final shot. Likely to Boone. No good. And we will go to the half with Houston holding on to the 35-30 lead.
Well, it was a great job by Oklahoma State and likely because they could have gave up an even bigger lead, but they shifted the momentum on this young man's back and showing his uniqueness. But a great job by Oklahoma State to get back in this game and only be down by 5 low going into the half.
Oklahoma State has had battles all season long. Williams with 8, Edwards with 11 for Houston, and a 5-point game at the break. After the break, it's off to the studio with Kevin Connors and Seth Greenberg.
You take the west side, take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. I hear him chat with the boys, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys, not so tough, but man's keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize, my girls, let her tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize, let her tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Let her tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution.
Got crypto brain? You could satisfy it by getting crypto the same way everyone else does. Or with a tax advantage at Alto Crypto IRA. With as little as $10, you can now put retirement dollars in crypto. Over 100 coins through Coinbase Exchange, including Bitcoin, all with the full tax advantages of an IRA. Everyone's got their eye on crypto. Get yours with the Alto Advantage. Sign up free at altoira.com/crypto.
This is the OYO Personal Gym. You can do chest, back, biceps, triceps, lats, shoulders. There's over 100 different exercise videos. The OYO Personal Gym.
Show the world what it means to be a fan with exclusive fan gear designed by Fanatics. One-of-a-kind styles from all the leagues, teams, and colleges you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
And it's really starting to feel like Christmas here.
It's NBA Christmas time.
I've been dropping buckets all night long, they ain't stopped me yet.
He's unstoppable.
Put my game to another level, I need a bigger check. Only one with that I got for Christmas, that to win the title.
That's really cool.
Check that out. Bespoke Post sends you awesome boxes every month for a great price, and I love it. The variety's great. I love how easy and flexible it is.
Head to BespokePost.com and get a free gift with your first box when you enter code FREE.
Why do nearly 1 million businesses choose Stamps.com to mail and ship? No more trips to the post office. No more paying full price for postage. And great rates from USPS and UPS. Mail letters. Ship packages. Anytime, anywhere. For less. A lot less. Get our special TV offer. A 4-week trial plus postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com/try and never go to the post office again.
Show the world what it means to be a fan at Fanatics.com. The largest assortment of officially licensed college fan gear from more than 500 colleges. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
Welcome back. In March of 1980, Duke hired a young, relatively unknown head coach named Mike Krzyzewski. 41 years later, it seems impossible to think anybody could describe Coach K that way, considering now he goes from young and anonymous to being known by simply one letter. As he embarks on his final season, he sits down with one of his first great players, Jay Billis.
First of all, it's KRZYZEWSKI, and if you think that's bad, it was a lot worse before I changed it.
Well, I know you like to look forward, no rearview mirror, but I want to just take you back for a second to March 18th, 1980. Do you remember what you made your first year?
Well, they offered me the job, and I accepted. And what was her first, question was, how much are we going to make? And I said, I don't know. I made $40,000. I make a lot of money now. We didn't get in this for that. And we've done what we've loved for a lifetime.
Does it feel any different to you knowing that it's your last year coaching at Duke?
I don't think of it that way. I will say this, that when we had our exhibition game, and this is the first time we lined up for the national anthem, I got a little emotional. That's not where my head is at, but I'm sure that the situations that I'll be in throughout the season, some of them will evoke that type. But I don't want to go there.
Nice. Good, left, right, 3.
Why is John Shire the right coach for this job to succeed you? And what did you mean by succession, almost in a military way, to be able to train Coach Shire as he takes this over?
Yeah, succession is part of what you are taught in the military, because if you have a command, it's usually for a year, maybe a year and a half, sometimes 2. But it's never yours completely. But John's been with me. It's his 9th year. He's only 34. And if this was a year or 2 years ago, I'm not sure that I would have gone along because he wasn't ready then. He's really ready.
Great.
How have his duties been different knowing that he's taking over next year?
I think the main difference is in the recruiting. In June, when you walk in those gyms to watch kids play, probably the first time he walked in, they were saying, "Where's Coach K?" Then they stopped saying that. And then they said, "That's Duke's head coach next year."
Williams rolls to the rim and finishes with 2 hands.
This year's team, I know you're long, you're athletic, you're going to be big and physical, but how do you see this team
Yeah,
playing?
a quick-paced team. We shouldn't have many shot clock violations, and a team that plays pretty good defense.
You're always looking for great stories, but if this one ends at the Final Four in New Orleans, it might be one of the greatest stories college basketball has ever authored as you take a look at the list of superlatives that could just go on and on and on for Coach K. I assume you guys have been around the game so long, you've got personal connections to Coach K. Let's start with Coach Greenberg.
Well, Coach K played at Army. My former head coach at Fairleigh Dickinson, Alabama, was the assistant coach at Army and coached him. So I knew Coach K before he was Coach K, before he was Mike. But to me, the thing is, and John, you can appreciate this, when you played against Duke, they set the standard. When I moved into the ACC as a coach, all right, they set the standard on how hard you would play and how consistent you would compete. Each and every single night, they were the biggest game on everyone's schedule. And each and every night, you got their best shot because they knew you were going to get he was going to get your best shot.
Cool.
And to me, his ability to adjust in at times, but more importantly, to keep that competitive spirit each and every day, that's hard to do, and he did it seamlessly.
It's funny, too. As a player, you never really appreciate, and I got to be honest, as a player, you never appreciate any coach. It's just, you're a selfish player, right? You're just a selfish player. But as a broadcaster, getting to be around his programs for the last couple of years and spending time with him personally, and just having real conversations, you develop an appreciation not just for what he does, but the process, right? The thought process, the process of putting things into action. I really do appreciate everything that he's become, but you also look back at where he started. I mean, there's consistency throughout, and I think it's something that we'll all look back at and appreciate more than we will as he's doing it right now.
And how about this? There would be no Coach K if it was today, because after those first 3 years, there's a good chance that he wouldn't have made it to today.
Well, same way with John Wooden, right?
No doubt about it. So, when you look at it, the standard that he's set, they talk about Duke and the brotherhood.
Yeah.
He created the brotherhood. 41 years. Crazy.
It's a great point. The late, great Tom Butters gave him a 5-year contract extension when the fans, believe it or not, wanted him out. It's an amazing story. How will the ending be? We'll find out. More basketball on the way.
Ow! So you think Santa will like these red and green M&Ms?
I don't know. I never met the guy. He does exist!
They do exist. Santa?
Surprise! It's a new Buick.
You got me a new Buick?
Oh. And there are more gifts inside. Wow!
I don't even know what to open first.
How about this?
You got me the head-up display.
Heated steering wheel. It's a massaging seat. Do you love it?
Okay, what next?
Watch this, Mom.
Alexa, turn on holiday lights.
This year, give the gift of technology in every Buick SUV.
On the season finale of Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Another season almost in the books.
Yep, it's going to be a long off season.
Off season?
What do we do in the off-season?
Off-season?
Relax. We don't stop existing when the season ends.
Yeah, it's not like we live in some fictional town that's part of some elaborate marketing campaign.
What would it even be for? Dr. Pepper?
We're real people. It's not like we're the ice-cold Dr. Pepper guy.
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration experts, can give you your real hair back permanently. Check them out today because they're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone who texts SIGN to 642-642. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're ahead of the curve. They use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let them show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text SIGN to 642-642. Ask about the Bosley Guarantee. That's SIGN to 642-642.
New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan. 100% authentic fan gear. Fanatics, officially licensed everything.
Welcome back where Edwards has heated up. It's all about threes. Please, there's one where no one picks him up, and then some poor defense on the screen. Another clean look. Can you believe it? He got free again. Man is late, and he has a date with another three. Edwards is hot. Houston up 35-30 at the half.
So you think Santa will like these red and green M&Ms?
I don't know. I never met the guy. He does exist.
They do exist. Santa?
We make sit-down chicken, stand-up chicken, backyard chicken, oops chicken, lots of time chicken, no time chicken. If there's one thing we know, it's chicken, chicken, and chicken. More choices, more wow, more to love. Tyson.
Why do nearly 1 million businesses choose Stamps.com to mail and ship? No more trips to the post office. No more paying full price for postage. And great rates from USPS and UPS. Mail letters. Ship packages. Anytime, anywhere. For less. A lot less. Get our special TV offer. A 4-week trial plus postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com/try and never go to the post office again.
Do you suffer from sore, aching muscles and stiffness from working out and exercising? Or from normal everyday activities? Now, you can enjoy the relaxing, pain-relieving benefits of deep tissue massage right in your own home with the High-Impact Pro Massage Gun. Using the clinically proven science of percussion therapy, the revolutionary High-Impact Pro allows you to target areas of your body with precisely calibrated pulses of pressure that reach deep into the tissues and muscles in your body. Comparable massage guns sell for as much as $500, but you can get your High-Impact today for just $59.99, and we will include the fork head, round head, bullet head, and flat head with your order. But that's not all. We will even ship your entire order absolutely free. That's right, the High Impact, the 4 interchangeable heads, and free shipping. All for less than $100. Don't wait. Order your High Impact Pro today.
Hi, I'm Shannon Storms-Bedour. When we started selling my health products online, our shipping process was painfully slow. Then we found ShipStation. Now we're shipping out orders 5 times faster. And thanks to ShipStation's discounted rates, we're saving a ton. Honestly, we couldn't do it without ShipStation.
Join over 100,000 online sellers who get ship done with ShipStation. Go to ShipStation.com/try and get 2 months free.
That's really cool.
Wow. This is awesome. What we got here is the Weekender box.
It's a cocktail aging kit. I think that's really, really cool.
Drop point blade with 256 layers of forged steel. That's nuts.
I just love that every time we open the box from Bespoke, we're most likely getting something from small brand.
Bespoke Post sends you awesome boxes every month, and I love it.
Head to BespokePost.com and get a free gift with your first box when you enter code FREE.
You are watching Hoop Hype XL presented by Basketball University. Here in Fort Worth, 14th ranked Houston up on Oklahoma State, 35-30. Welcome back inside Dickies Arena, everybody. I'm Lowell Galindo, back here courtside with Lance Blanks. This is an Oklahoma State team trying to figure out who they are, what they're all about. This game begins a 7-game stretch in which they'll play 6-ranked opponents. So they got to figure it out at some point in time. Wasn't looking good. They're down by 12 until Isaac Likely gets them going.
Well, yeah, and Lowell, they can't do what we're doing. They can't look ahead of themselves. They've got to play it 1 minute at a time, 1 moment at a time, and that's what got them back into this game. You mentioned it, Likely, but Houston was on fire, and then all of a sudden something happened, and this young man Likely came alive. There you see the one dribble with the nice finish using the rim to protect from getting the block, and then of course the suffocating defense comes up, walking from behind, and then hits a speed demon who makes the layup, and then watch this nice pass right over the top. Kind of tricked us all with that one, Likely did. But he took over the game, Lowell, late in this half, brought them back. They're within striking distance of Houston. They can keep Sasser quiet, keep these monsters that they have who can really attack the backboard and the glass. Keep them quiet. Oklahoma State might have a chance.
You see the game of runs right there. That 7-0 run, that was the one that Oklahoma State put together to end the first half and make it a 5-point game. Sasser started slow. Number 0 for Houston. He got it going later in the first half. Leading scorer for the Cougars was 6 points. Edwards and White, they have been the offense for Houston, and the shot clock not resetting.
Yeah, well, no, it shouldn't have actually. The shot clock did reset inadvertently. That was a great pickup by the official. That clock should be well, actually the clock should be right around where the game clock is. No, yep, there it is. Fixed it. 8 seconds.
Problem solved.
That's right.
So 8 seconds as Houston will inbound. Jamal Shed to Carlton. Looks up at the clock. Kicks out to Sasser for 3. Fabian White goes off him and into the hands of Donovan Williams.
I really like that possession for Oklahoma State, Lowell, because I think that sets the tone here where they get to pick up from where they left off at the end of the first half with that momentum. Look at the space, though, that Likely has to do work simply because of his shooting.
But thrown away by Boone. Caleb Boone has had a rough goal. Picked up 2 quick fouls, hardly played in the first half. Laser pass inside with good recovery by Boone in Oklahoma State.
Well, Boone, I thought, had to give more, and he gave it there.
Oh, and the roll for Donovan Williams.
How about Williams? And you talked about Williams' issues and him coming back with a clearer head. He's playing that way today. Takes the hit and the bump and gets it right up over the rim. That was textbook, but how about Boone not giving up? Thought Oklahoma State could have done a little bit better job. And then there Williams gets hit and finishes. And also Boone might have stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, you saw that,
yeah, a little good camera work there by our team. They're on the baseline.
Williams cannot convert on the 3-point play, but it does make it a 3-point game. See if Edwards can get going. Scored 4 straight buckets for Houston. All 11 points for him in that one burst. And has 1 shot since that burst.
So they took turns a little bit, and that's because Sasser got it going.
Late shot clock. Shed missed everything. And all the momentum is now sitting on that bench with Mike Boynton and the guys in black.
Well, yeah, they're out of kilter, and Coach Sampson knows that as he barks some orders. But their offense is certainly not flowing the way it was midway through the first half, and Oklahoma State has to take advantage of any opportunity they can get, such as this one. There you see it, it's consistent. Likely has no one literally guarding him whenever he catches it out on the perimeter.
And held ball, great defense there by Fabian White, who's been a presence, especially offensively for this Houston team, inside and outside.
Well, if you're Williams, you've got to stop somewhere around the 12 to maybe even 15 feet and be able to knock that down or give yourself a cleaner look. You're not going to get that close to the basket against Houston. Their bigs are just too good.
Williams goes down hard. And a foul.
Well, I don't. Snead's arguing, and so is Sampson. And perhaps, maybe because the foul was a little late, the call was. Williams sold it for sure. You heard the thud.
I mean, maybe he got his toe. Maybe he clipped it.
Well, maybe it's hard to see from both of those angles.
But here's the deal. 3 shots, and Shed picks up his 3rd foul.
Well, that's huge because Shed really sets the tone for Houston. But also I want to go back to the shot. It looked to me like Boone might have got a little bit of some movement with a little bit of a hip check on the screen. And I don't know what Snead was upset about, but look at the screen, and Boone's not set. Look, right there. Look, he's moving. So it's almost like Oklahoma State got a double benefit, but I'll take that back. Lo, I think there was a little clip of the shin, the top of the shin.
It looks like Kelvin Sampson will lead Jamal Shed in the game with 3 fouls. And we're tied up at 35. It doesn't seem like too long ago when it was a 12-point lead for Houston and no signs of life for this Cowboys team.
Well, how about that? They switch things up out of the free throws and go into a all-out, full-on press. And right now, besides the momentum, as they switch on the perimeter.
Edwards got a little space. No. Anderson right in front of us. Through the legs of Donovan Williams back to White. Hesitation by Edwards and throws it right to Donovan Williams, who throws it right back to Edwards.
Well, if you look up sloppy in the dictionary, this last possession will come up as the definition. This is sloppy.
Shed, Glass, no, and Carlton gets the rebound and a whistle after the shot. Yeah, that was something there, partner.
Yeah, it was, and it started with Anderson, and he's such a speed demon. It almost reminded me of a football player because, you know, you want guys to corral the ball before they try to run a touchdown.
Yeah.
And that's what it looked like when Anderson was going for that loose ball, and then that just turned into chaos. It fed off of itself.
Really one of the key plays of this game is a moment like that when Likely came up from a scrum that was started before he got involved.
Yep, and he ended up finishing. But yeah, you have to ask yourself, is this going to be disruption?
And a charge. This one bodied up by Avery Anderson, and that goes against Kyler Edwards.
Yeah, a lot of guys in this game, really they're telegraphing what they're going to do. Edwards, he has no intention to do anything but go that direction. Anderson stays down in a defensive position, takes the charge. You've got to be a little bit more deceptive, if you will, against either club because they have enough guys who can move their feet, play very good defense.
That was a lob from Moncrief. Instead, hits inside the cylinder and bounces out. See if Oklahoma State can get Anderson going offensively. Coming off that 29-point performance, too shy of his career high. Here he's out running. Donovan Williams, open court. Nice play by Shed, recovered. Moncrief gets fouled.
Yeah, and that's just will right there, meaning they have a lot of intensity about trying to score the basketball. And anytime Anderson gets the ball, especially in the backcourt off of a rebound or steal, it's going to be about speed and pressuring the rim. And that's exactly what he created in that last possession, trying to get a layup.
So Williams, leading scorer for Oklahoma State with 11 points. He also had 29. That was a career high for him. And that win against Louisiana, or excuse me, the win against Cleveland State that went to overtime. Boone has not been a factor because of foul trouble. He's on the bench, and he's one of those guys that's really a big three offensively with Boone, Likely, and then Bryce Williams. And Williams has led the charge offensively. Needs a little bit more help. But it is a 1-point lead for the Cowboys.
Well, they've done a great job, Oklahoma State, of keeping Sasser in check, and also as the foul is picked up by Chaney, you got to take that ball a little lower. You've got to wait for him being Chaney, to get set. He's got to get set. And a lot of errors there with that, the execution of that play. But again, keeping Sasser under control, only 6 points, 2 for 8 thus far. And also the boards. I mean, all things considered, Oklahoma State has done a very good job of not letting Houston take over the game on the boards.
White with the rebound. Seems like Houston, though, has slowly unraveled to the point where Oklahoma State is now the team holding on to the lead. Did not see this one coming. Inside, great position. And the finish by Reggie Chaney.
Well, they got a mismatch, and then Sneed snuck it out. He found it. Chaney had a mouse in the house, and he's buried Chaney with the nice finish. Houston up.
Are you ready for Monday night? A spooky Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Sheriff, come quick! Rico's about to enter the transfer portal.
Rico, you don't need to transfer.
Have you seen the latest depth chart? I'd be lucky to play it down this year.
But you're only a sophomore. There's still time.
Rico's time is now!
You know, never really saw much upside with Rico.
Hey, anybody need a punter?
We're good.
Oh, brought Dr. Pepper.
Welcome to State!
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Our journey at Continental has taken us down many roads. And when we first started, they weren't even paved. For more than 150 years, we've worked hard to earn your trust. From the trail to the racetrack and beyond. The Continental mark in all its forms stands for confidence. Confidence you trust. Continental Tire.
Yeah, I'm bad to the bone. I ain't sure what you've been told. Yeah, I'm bad to the bone.
Mike Boynton has a simple phrase. It's his mantra that really sums up this performance from his guys. Let's work.
Oh, and work is what got them back into this game, Lo. I mean, they're giving Houston a little bit of their taste of their own medicine, meaning they're imposing their will. Coach Boynton's team is Oklahoma State on this game. They changed the momentum late in the first half, namely on Likely Ice's back, and they continued it, which is sometimes hard to do when you go for a little bit of a rest, a little bit of reprieve. At halftime, you come out and you get punched in the face, especially by a team like Houston. That has not been the case. They've met Houston's energy and been able to execute.
Houston had missed 9 straight. before Cheney got the and one. And with the three-point play, gives the Cougars a 2-point lead. Oklahoma State going quick. Keelan Boone now in the game. Here's Likely, pull up Jay, in and out. Keelan Boone, the response.
A major key. Boone has got to give them something up front. He's capable of doing it. Doesn't have quite the strength as way, Cheney, but they've got to get something up front. Oklahoma State does. Looks like Boone is come alive making plays.
Shed on Moncrief. Into the paint. And right there, he was looking for Cheney, but Cheney wasn't anywhere to be found.
No, he threw it over his head. Looked like he could have gone and gotten there. No one puts a body on Boone. Maybe he could have gotten a call there. Again, that's why I say they're out Houston with their game. Typically, Houston is the tougher bunch. Looks like Oklahoma State has just turned up the wattage, Lowell.
Bryce Williams pull up. Likely looking for the tip and into the hands of White. And again, Oklahoma State doing this without Musa Cisse. Their outstanding big and shot blocker. Back at his home of Guinea in West Africa. Mourning the loss of his mother, who passed away before Oklahoma State took on Cleveland State on Monday.
And thoughts and prayers to he and his family.
First time he's been home in 5 years. You wish it wouldn't be under those circumstances as Marcus Sasser delivers the huge three.
You certainly don't want Sasser to get going as they play the zone. Try to force Oklahoma State to make a shot from the perimeter.
No Tremont Mark, a 10-point score for the Cougars. Or Taze Moore, one of the most athletic guys in college basketball. Both of them out, illness and injury. As Williams foul. But this is what Marcus Sasser can do. It's been a steady game. Hasn't had the big burst, but he's coming alive.
No, he certainly hadn't had the steady, but it's not his fault per se, but he can really shoot the basketball. Shoots 45% from that distance. He is their do-it-all guy. And he plays both low on and off the ball, but you've got to know where he is on the floor at all times. I mean, if he gets hot, he can literally single-handedly beat you with his offense. He's also capable of putting it on the floor and creating offense for himself in ISO situations. So he is a very dangerous offensive ball player.
Nice feed inside. Williams to Moncrief. Here comes the double. And he'll get the whistle.
There, Moncrief was violent in the way he ran to catch that ball. A sense of energy and urgency there in the front court.
So Moncrief to the line, 3 of 6 from the charity stripe so far tonight.
You know, and both of these teams, Lo, have been in quite the battles, particularly of late.
Sunday, we have the second game of the inaugural Pac-12 Coast to Coast Challenge. Number 11, Texas, taking on Kate Reese. Number 4, Arizona, T-Mobile in Las Vegas. Coverage beginning at 5:30 on ESPN and the app.
Oklahoma State likes to get in that press after free throws. You know it's coming.
So Reggie Cheney now with 4 fouls. Fabian White with 3, Jamal Shed with 3, nearly thrown away into the hands of Caleb Boone.
Yeah, and Sasser, I don't think, knew exactly what he wanted to do there and got caught.
Williams wanted it all, but denied, and a whistle. Wow, that was a violent collision at the rim. Jawan Roberts is down. He took the brunt of that collision.
Well, and how about the no call?
Was no call on that?
Yeah, it was no out of bounds. There was no foul call. Yeah, you did hear a whistle because the ball bounced out of bounds. I didn't see any call for a foul.
So here is that contest, and Roberts and Carlton were both there. Roberts is now up.
When you talk about violent, I mean, nothing broke his fall but his backside.
So Houston dealing with its share of injuries, been able to battle through it. A team that's been completely made over from last season, but Kelvin Sampson has been the model of consistency with this Cougars program. Juwan Roberts, ultra athletic, one of the best offensive rebounders in all of college basketball. So we'll see how long that takes him out. But Williams was charging hard. He wanted all of it. Now for three. Into the hands of Sasser. White for three. White got three. Fabian White now with 12 points.
I thought that was a huge basket after losing a key player that you don't know if you're going to get back. Much needed basket to get a little room on the lead.
Beautiful feed inside, but Edwards was there. Great recovery defensively.
And Boynton gets the technical foul. He is letting his opinion be known.
So that goes against Mike Boynton. So Sasser will go to the line for the free throws. So here is the situation.
Well, he was hoping that he could get a foul there on Edwards.
Did Boone lose the ball on his own? Was there contact there? Boynton thought obviously it was contact that led to that.
It could be both, though. You can lose the ball and be fouled. So just because he might have lost it, but Coach Boynton felt like he saw him get slapped across the shoulder.
White mid-range into the hands of Boone. 6-point Houston lead. Williams full head of steam, spinning. Tough finish. Boone is there. Caleb Boone with the follow.
Well, how good has Boone been? Both the Boones have made key plays here in this second half.
Shed draws the call. It was not a good start for Caleb Boone. Couple of fouls in the first 2 minutes of the game, but he's picking it up now. Williams with the spin and the cleanup job by Caleb Boone.
There she is, Miss America. There she is, your ideal. With so many beauties, she took the town by storm. With her all-American face and form. And there she is, walking on air she is, midst of the fair, she is Miss America. There she is.
On the season finale of Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Another season almost in the books.
Yep, it's gonna be a long off season.
Off season?
What do we do in the off season?
Off season?
Relax. We don't stop existing when the season ends.
Yeah, it's not like we live in some fictional town that's part of some elaborate marketing campaign.
What would it even be for? Dr. Pepper?
We're real people. It's not like we're the ice cold Dr. Pepper guy.
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
It's the coach that's been there against the coach trying to get there. Kelvin Sampson, one of the best in the game, 2 Final Four appearances, trying to get his Houston team fired up. He's going up against Mike Boynton, who is so fired up, just picked up a tee. And we heard from Sampson in pregame saying that that man right there is one of the rising superstars in the game, has so much respect and admiration for Boynton, and thinks he will eventually be one of the best coaches in the game.
Yeah, and I'm happy to see the fire because we talked about it, as you know, Lowell, before the game, and the situation that happened with the NCAA and their disappointment. And there was a lot of talk, and there's been a lot of talk around the program about it. And I'm thinking, have they moved on? Will they move on? But it's really great to see him in this moment, be in the moment, and not concerned with what's got them here or what will happen beyond this point in their season.
It's been an emotional year already. Mike Boynton found out from the NCAA Infractions Committee that the ruling was upheld. The original postseason ban that goes back to the 2017 FBI investigation into college basketball corruption. So what that means is his program, 3 years probation, loss of scholarships, recruiting limitations, but the one that stung the most and caused him to shed tears was the NCAA postseason ban. So no postseason of any kind for Mike Boynton's team. And he was very hard on the NCAA, even released a statement, mentioned the names of the members on the committee. The NCAA did not like that, said the members of that committee were threatened and got offensive messages as a result. But this all goes back to former associate head coach at Oklahoma State, Lamont Evans, accepted bribes to steer players to Oklahoma State and South Carolina. Evans got a 10-year show cause. But I think what most people look at is why punish these current players for something that happened before they were even on campus.
And yeah, the message for them at Oklahoma State, according to Coach Boynton, they were just disappointed and felt like their compliance and trying to do the right thing.
Cooperate.
Yeah, exactly, be cooperative and communicative. Got them in trouble, so they just didn't like the message that sent to not only their community, but the players, to your point.
Boone threw it away to Sasser. Sasser got bumped, no whistle. Boone gets it back to his twin brother, now up to Rondell Walker. All gobbled up by Fabian White. Officials now saying, hey, everybody cool down. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, it's very interesting there, and sometimes you can't get a feel for how the officials going to call games. And these officials, they're doing a fine job, so I'm not necessarily being a politician or being critical of them. These games are very, very hard to call, Lowell. But sometimes you just don't know where the line is between having games called tightly or a little bit more loose.
Coming up on the AAC on ESPN Plus, a full preview of the Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl between Houston and Auburn. And Houston women's basketball taking on Texas A&M Corpus Christi Tuesday at 2. If you're an AAC fan, you got to have it. Sign up today at espnplus.com/AAC. Lowell Galindo here with Lance Blanks, hanging out in Dickies Arena. And Fort Worth, Texas. It's Houston and Oklahoma State. Teams split. And 18-19. First matchups between these two programs since 1965. Oklahoma State leads all time 13-8, but this is all about the here and now. It's a 12-point lead in the first half for Houston, down to a 7-point lead with that 7-0 Oklahoma State run. And the second half has been an absolute battle with so many plays just like this.
Well, a lot of broken plays that turn into what looks like sloppy basketball. But it seems like whenever there's a loose ball, people have an urgency to try to score. And there's no need. Corral the basketball. It's okay to start over. And that's an example right there. I mean, it literally just turns into momentary chaos.
Moncrief picked up the foul.
It's okay to grab that ball and restart your offense, recalibrate things.
You just get in the moment, right?
You get in the moment and get a little too excited.
And a line change now for Oklahoma State.
A bit of a
Tyreek Smith, yeah, Keelan Boone. Williams checking in.
Williams, little offense. Anytime you've got Williams and Anderson for Oklahoma State on the floor, you've got a chance for an offensive explosion, simply because both of these guys can score the ball so well, particularly if things are going with pace up and down the floor quickly.
Sasser gets out of trouble.
In the zone.
White left it short, but Carlton is there for the rebound.
Yeah, you've got to get that rebound. Difficult to do sometime in the zone, but you've got to corral the ball.
Over to Sasser, who lets the nylon rip. Sasser's got 14. And off of Isaac Likely. No, they're going to reverse this.
Yep.
Initial call was going the other direction. So it will stay with Oklahoma State. That's a huge, huge break right here.
Yeah, it is. But Houston did a good job. You see the zone collapsing, and they find their best three-point shooter wide open. And Sasser knocks down the three ball from the easiest point on the court.
Anderson off the inbound. That's off Carlton. Will stay with the Cowboys.
And being down 7, they're in that, they being Oklahoma State's in that critical area now where they need to hang around. Scoring perspectives, keep this close to give themselves a chance.
Anderson likely was wide open. Little touch to Tyreek Smith. Ripped away by Fabian White. I thought there was going to be a held ball called there.
Well, or a jump ball. And it was a great pass, but he threw it into a sea of White. There was really nothing he could have done, even if he had caught that ball.
White to Edwards. And a reset for Houston. Look at Williams absolutely battling through that screen from White. And the ball is loose. Williams, patience there, too likely. Boone for 3, too much. And Carlton coming down with the rebound and a foul. And that's going to go against Keelan Boone.
And first on the offensive end for Houston, Sasser, I thought, was trying to get a little bit too much. There really wasn't anything there. And then I thought coming back, Likely did a great job, as he typically does, of finding people. And a good look by Boone. The game has gotten a little quiet from a scoring perspective. This is an opportunity, in my estimation, for Oklahoma State to get back into this game.
Well, they're the ones that have been the most quiet offensively. 2 for their last 13 as Carlton is going to go to the line.
Well, you know, eventually there's going to be a little bit of an explosion for Houston. And you've got guys like Shed who are willing to share the ball, and that young man there, Sasser. Coach Sampson coaching, best player.
He's got a deep team, a lot of talent, can beat you in so many different ways. This front court is really good. Josh Carlton has put together back-to-back fantastic games as a starter. He's got experience doing that at UConn. But new life for him here at Houston as Likely draws the foul. And that is going to go against Edwards.
Yeah, and typically people they don't trust Likely's scoring. So they don't pressure him. And I like the decision there, Lowell, where he just drives the ball right into the seam of the defense and get around the basket to try to make a play for himself or teammates. I think that's his best counter to not being guarded on the perimeter.
He's a 50% free throw shooter this year. You can see the frustration. Now 1 for 3 here tonight. Who's the most likely guy, no pun intended, to get Oklahoma State going? Because you said that you got the feeling someone from Houston is about to go off. Who would it be for OSU?
Well, I think it's got to be Williams or Anderson. I like Williams in half-court situations. It's because of his shooting and ability to create shots. And when it's an open floor situation or fast break, if they can create some speed or some pace in this game, which is a little difficult, it's Anderson. But you see as Likely goes to the bench, it's hard in a game like this to get back into it. Only 9 or just under 9 minutes to go. And he's not looking to score the ball offensively.
Cranking up the pressures, Oklahoma State. Deep pass. And Chaney brings it down.
Well, a missed opportunity there for Oklahoma State. They had him on the ropes and out of position.
White, good moves inside. And yes, the finish. You think that young man is excited? Understatement.
Yeah, and a beautiful lefty there. Had the spin move instead of running over the defense.
Hey, give Jamal Shed all the credit right there. It was a mismatch. Boone had the size advantage, but Shed was hounding him.
Oh, and then they got White in the isolation there. See the little jab step, and then, of course, the spin back with the left. Then the pass. I mean, that was a very poor pass from out of the double team.
Imagine last season's Houston team with Fabian White at 100%. Tore the ACL in spring of 2020, made a return last season, but clearly was not 100%, but still found a way to contribute in that tournament. But a shell of the player that we're seeing here this season.
Well, and he just gets better and better with time. And speaking to that point, Caleb Mills transfers out, goes to Florida State, or ends up at Florida State, and you're thinking that Coach Sampson, how are they going to do it? And I mean, they just came together. They never blinked. They actually even got better and better all the way to the Final Four until they ran into a very, very good Baylor team that we get to see often. I mean, they
won the whole thing.
Yeah, they made Gonzaga look like they were in a different league altogether. But what Coach Sampson has done here, and you see the intensity there, sustaining the level of success has been.
Risky inbound pass there by Shed. Tough shot by Edwards.
It's been nothing short of magnificent. Sorry there, partner. I talked a little over you there.
No, you're good. Shed was trying to thread the needle there. Houston still looking good. Oklahoma State seeing that they got another charge with under 8 left to play here in Fort Worth.
All right.
Let's do it for the fans and the stands going crazy. I've been ballin'.
It's NBA Christmas time.
Steffi looking like the MVP and Clay ain't even back.
Durant way downtown. Bang!
Giannis trying to get another chip. He want them back to back. AD and LeBron, they want revenge. They trying to win again.
He's unstoppable.
It's only one wish that I got for Christmas, that to win the title. It's only one wish that I got for Christmas, that to win the title.
Ooh, that's really cool.
Wow. This is awesome. What we got here is the Weekender box.
It's a cocktail aging kit. I think that's really, really cool.
Drop point blade with 256 layers of forged steel. That's nuts.
I just love that every time we open the box from Bespoke, we're most likely getting something from small brands.
Bespoke Post sends you awesome boxes every month, and I love it.
Head to BespokePost.com and get a free gift with your first box when you enter code FREE.
When we started our business, we were paying like an arm and a leg for the postage. I remember setting up ShipStation. I think it was just like 1 or 2 clicks. Everything was up and running. I was printing out labels and saving money.
ShipStation saves us so much time. It makes it really easy and seamless. Pick an order, print everything you need, slap the label onto the box, and it's ready to go.
Our cost for shipping, like, were cut in half, just like that.
ShipStation, the #1 choice of online sellers. Go to ShipStation.com/try and get 2 months free.
A week ago, this was the reaction after a tough loss in Tuscaloosa for Houston against Alabama. And you see the aftermath, and Jamal Shedd blows up on the internet because he does the right thing, cleans up the trash, picks up the chair. It's just maturity, it's responsibility right there for the sophomore from Maynard, Texas. He said, quote, "It was more to protect what we stand for. Here at Houston, we're not the bad guys with the image of the trash can being spilled. If we didn't pick it up, the image would have been placed on us. I just felt somebody needed to pick it up." I know the emotions after a game like that, where probably should have been a goaltending call in hindsight when you look at all the film. But to see a moment like that doesn't go your way, to see the reaction by other players on your team, Jamal Shedd could have easily walked by that trash can, walked into the locker room, heck, even kicked a chair or something else and added to it, but he did not. What does that show you?
Well, it just shows me character. And to give more context, they were playing against Alabama. It was a great hard-fought game, and it was a bang-bang play down the stretch. And it was a missed 3, rebound by Houston, put up for a layup, and then you're right, there was a block, and because the officials didn't call the goaltending, they couldn't review it. You can't review something you didn't call in that case by rule, and Coach tried to get them to look at it, Coach Sampson, and they walked out, and yeah, they were pretty upset, but it shows me character in that moment. Because you're feeling some pretty emotional things at that moment, Lowell, that have nothing to do with cleaning up the opponent's facility. And so to have the presence of mind, and I think that was real. I don't think, with social media now, you never know how many cameras are out there, but I don't think that was for effect or to get the reaction that happened. I love his quote because I think it was just natural, and I love how Coach talked about, you know, people do things with phones nowadays and they happen all the time behind the scenes. You might not be aware of. He said, this stuff I've been watching this young man do over and over and over again. So I saw this character in Shedd long before he became a trash man, and that went viral. And I don't mean in the literal sense, but I mean after that game.
Great defense there. The young pup, Ramon Walker, fighting for the basketball. Absolutely getting after it with Moncrief. You talk about a young guy coming in and just making his mark with effort. Ramon Walker has been that guy.
You know, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, Lowell, it might be a duck. And full transparency, we were telling this story about Shedd, and I'm looking at you, and I look back at the court, and there's bodies on the ground once again, on the floor for the ball. Walker's involved.
Yep.
Analytics would say he's been on the floor 1 out of every 6 possessions, either with a charge or a scrum or whatever the case may be. That is textbook Houston basketball. And Coach today, we asked him about what he looked for in players. And
just knows.
Yeah, he said he just knows. And I think Coach can articulate that. Now today he said he just knows. It's just maybe an it factor or whatever. I think that's one of the things. Guys that are comfortable get nasty and dirty, Lowell.
And all of that hard work, getting after it, leads to Moncrief's 4th foul. Walker going to the line for his first 2 points in his college career. Pretty cool to see that for him. Here's Caleb Boone.
He looked very comfortable.
Oh, double team and one. Started slow, but he's coming on now.
Well, Boone hadn't always been this good and or consistent. That's pretty good on the block against a very strong Cheney.
Who just fouled out, by the way.
Yeah, and that's pretty impressive and willful. I mean, that was intentional. There are times in a game and when you're competing, when your opponent knows what you're going to do, you know he knows, and he can't do anything about it. And that was one of those instances in my mind. Boone just had a little more will there than Cheney, and I have trepidation saying that because Cheney's so tough.
Williams. Oh, that would have been huge. Boone tried to keep it alive. We got bodies on the hardwood again. That's going to be foul against Oklahoma State.
Boy, it's amazing. Walker just attracts violent play. He does. He's a magnet. He's a magnet for violent play.
Doesn't seem like he minds being that magnet at all.
No, I mean, he's part of the. He's also a good example of why this system has been so sustainable for Houston, because systems, and coaches are going to hate me, any of them maybe out here listening. Systems are that, and you need them, and they're important, but you need people to drive systems. Certain offenses, no names, look different if you don't have a Michael Jordan or a Charles Barkley, whoever the player might be, running in them. So Coach Sampson does a great job of getting the right people to drive his system.
Thrown away by Boone. It's just been a mixed bag. He's had some really good stretches and just started off so poorly with those two quick fouls. Both teams now with 16 turnovers, getting into late stages, and this is why Oklahoma State had to go to overtime to beat Cleveland State, because they got sloppy with the basketball in the final 5 minutes or so. That's 6:30 left, but getting into that territory where Oklahoma State really had issues as Williams is able to draw the foul.
Yeah, so Lowell, let me speak to a play that just occurred in the turnovers you're talking about with Boone. If you're watching Boone and you're scouting him, you're saying double him on the block. Not necessarily because he's going to score it, but because he's doing such a poor job of passing out of pressure. He's got to take one dribble towards the sideline to release that pressure, take his time, and find his teammate.
Well, we got a great Hoops doubleheader coming up Tuesday on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. Rematch of last year's national semifinals. Stanford with Haley Jones taking the lead with 32 seconds left, going on to win the national championship. And then you've got Colorado and Kansas. The Jayhawks with Stephen F. Austin tonight. Mike Boynton, an assistant coach at Stephen F. Austin under Brad Underwood. Part of that team that beat 2-seed West Virginia in the 2016 NCAA tournament. 7-point lead for Houston. Final 6 minutes. Likely getting after it defensively.
And a good job by White, not folding under that pressure.
Ball comes out. Tip, so no backcourt violation. And that is off Oklahoma State and Avery Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson, you only got 8 seconds on the clock. You've done a good job of disrupting the flow of the offense. No need to foul here. Just
a quick trigger from the corner. No. Offensive rebound. Carlton draws the foul. Houston is so good on the offensive glass. Not just the length, but the attitude, the effort that goes along with it.
And that's Boone out of your screen. Boone gets into a I'm going to jump higher than you battle. And you've got to play fundamental basketball with Houston. You've got to put your body on their body to keep them away from offensive rebounds, because that's where their bread is buttered. Low, and they're so aggressive about going to that offensive glass.
Both teams with 9 free throw misses tonight make that 10 for Houston. Almost a careless turnover. Williams nearly gave that one immediately back to U of H. Williams with 15 points, leading the way for Oklahoma State. Coming off career-high 29-point performance last time out. Boone blocked. Fabian White has done everything for the Cougars.
Well, yeah, talk about systems. Likely in the wrong spot there.
Edwards, Carlton. Again, offensive rebound leading to Carlton going to the line.
I want to go back to that last offensive possession. After we see the okay, you got the swing there, but that's blocked by White. The first pass, you'd want that switch. You'd rather have Boone there because he can take that shot versus Likely, who doesn't want to take that shot. Or if Likely is there, at least dribble straight ahead and gives yourself a chance to make a basket around the rim.
Carlton with 8 offensive rebounds, but 3 straight misses at the free throw line. Saw him punching on the court right there and leaves it short. 4 straight misses.
Yeah, and so you want to get into a little bit of Shaka Carlton and fouling.
Anderson! 9 points for Avery Anderson. We've got a 4-point game. Here come the Pokes.
It's not a bad play if Carlton catches the ball. And I say Shaq, putting him on the free throw line simply because he struggled.
Sasser goes down hard. Anderson rips it away. Sasser is slow to get up.
Oh, they got
He's holding
numbers.
his ankle. Anderson lets it fly. Boom! From nowhere!
Well, Coach Sampson extremely upset. Thought a foul should have been called there against Sasser. He takes the shoe off.
What do we say about the up and down night for Caleb Boone on this play? He does it both, getting up to come down.
Oh yeah, and he attacked that. Nobody puts a body on him. Too athletic. I mean, the Boones have been quite interesting tonight, showing up in big moments and then disappearing and showing up. And this one looks like Caleb is rising. No pun intended, because he certainly rose there with the finish around and over the rim.
And obviously, the health of Sasser is paramount. He's been dealing with the turf toe issue. Cost him last game against Louisiana. Here's the play in question. Sasser goes down. You see him roll that left ankle.
Oh, yeah. And he hit no one. He actually, yeah, it was just a funny step. A little pressure, Oklahoma State.
9-point second half lead for the Cougars, down to 2. Shed leaving it up. Teardrop for Jamal Shed.
That's huge.
Anderson blocked. Cougars flex in response. Going the other way.
Yeah, he stepped out of bounds there. Walker Jr., he got a little excited. You got to know, young fella, where your feet are in relations to out of bounds.
And he knows it. And see, that's the issue right there. If Sasser is working on that toe, don't know if that's the one that's having the issue with turf toe, but that has been a problem for Marcus Sasser. Williams, Boone lost it.
Yeah, essentially 2 turnovers with Sasser on the bench. You've got to at least get a look. Very poor execution there on the last two possessions by Oklahoma State.
Here's Edwards. Late shot clock for Shed. The drive. White is there. And a save, heads-up play. It looked like he wanted to follow. Recognized he had no shot and found Shed.
That was very smart play by White. Sometimes if you're in position to score, doesn't mean you have to try to score. Looked like he was a little too far into the basket, did the right thing.
Shed. A dagger from Jamal Shed.
That's a quiet takeover. Shed had the nice runner, then he comes off the screen and knocks down the three ball.
Boone collects himself and one for Caleb Boone. It's not the cleanest night for Caleb Boone, but this man is battling here in Fort Worth.
Well, it's almost Boone versus Boone. It's which Boone, not in twins, but which Boone is going to win out. But Shed is the man of the moment. Low, you go under and I will go over right in your face. But which Boone is it? Little Boone, big Boone, little Boone. It's the Boone that's going to finish. Oklahoma State trying to get back in the game.
Season finale of Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Another season almost in the books.
Yep. It's going to be a long off season.
Off season?
What do we do in the off season?
Off season?
Relax. We don't stop existing when the season ends.
Yeah, it's not like we live in some fictional town that's part of some elaborate marketing campaign.
What would it even be for? Dr. Pepper?
We're real people. It's not like we're the ice cold Dr. Pepper guy.
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Yeah, I'm bad to the bone. I ain't sure what you've been told. Yeah, I'm bad.
Ow! So you think Santa will like these red and green M&Ms?
I don't know. I never met the guy. He does exist!
They do exist. Santa?
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Basketball University, performance and athleisure apparel. Kelvin Sampson trying to get every ounce of energy and execution from his Houston team. They've lost 2 games this season. 2-point loss against Wisconsin, the controversial 1-point loss on the road against Alabama. This is what we've seen so far. Edwards, Sasser, Shed, White, they've combined for 51 points. Sasser has been on the bench. He now checks back in. The runs, see him right there. Turnovers, an issue for both teams. So here we are, final 2:44. Biggest development for the Houston Cougars is the fact that Marcus Sasser went down, was holding his foot, got it checked out on the bench, and now is back in the game. Boone to the line.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Houston does offensively because they'll play Sasser on and off the ball, and he's a bit of their closer. But with Shed having it going low, they leave Sasser off the ball, especially with the potential injury. Nope, they put him back on the ball. They'll let him work from up top.
He says, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
White on Boone. Spin.
Great double.
Faces another Boone. Shed, great ball fake, and finishes. You go this way, I'm going straight to the cylinder.
Well, that's going on the SportsCenter top 10. How about the poise he had to fake the defense on the pass? Defense. Shed is the hot man in the arena. He's made the last 3 baskets. You got to find him, Oklahoma State. Find him.
Boone to Boone. Keelan, long three, no. Under 2 minutes here in Fort Worth.
There's one man you need to know where he is right now.
He's got
for
the
Houston.
basketball.
Absolutely, yes he does.
Oh, hesitation. And draws the foul. Caleb Boone putting his hands up saying, what did I do? But right now, we're witnessing this man take over, Jamal Shead.
Well, great defense there with the double coming from the baseline. Ooh, the fake. That's got to be on SportsCenter. That has to be. What a beautiful fake. The poise to knock that down. And I say poise, that's very intentional there, Lowell. He wasn't in any rush. He took his time, and I love to see college guys do that because college guys are really encouraged to do things hard and fast all the time. And sometimes you've got to slow it down, and I thought Shed did a great job just slowing it down, taking his time, and knocking that shot down.
How good can this Houston team be when they get Tremont Mark back from the shoulder, when Taze Moore is feeling better? Those are two big pieces. They're winning without.
Well, and then they've got the championship DNA in them.
Williams, no. Moncrief was there, and Shed says, hey, I did a little too much. Shed saved it right to Moncrief. Oh, and that goes off Oklahoma State, so Houston basketball. And the shot clock did not start.
Yeah, I want to readdress your question about how good they can be. I mean, you hear people talking about the jerseys. You're playing against the jerseys. But there's a sense of pride now that Houston, shall we say, that was dormant after the glory days of the mid-'80s. And Coach Sampson has brought that back so they can be pretty dang good, Lowell. But
So,
let's see who this goes off of.
Yeah, we saw the signal from Oklahoma State saying, take a look. Nah, it's going to be off Oklahoma State.
Is it?
All right, okay.
Yeah,
we have someone else come in the picture.
Well, and I'm not confident.
Keelan Boone.
Hit. Okay.
Right there?
It looks like it does hit, but here's another. But let's see.
With it.
That bounce is not out of bounds, but then here.
No, this is not the play we're looking at. Is it?
I don't know if
this is the finish by Moncrief. That bucket.
Yeah, that's
we're looking at the inbound that just happened.
That's right, because that inbound was tipped back out of bounds. And or they're not looking at the clock, are they? They're looking to see who that ball went out on.
We just got the Jamal Shed fake, and we bit. We bit hard.
Yeah, but we got such a good team that we can cover for each other and go back to what we were talking about, which is how good this team could be. And just anecdotally looking at them, you never know. There's so many good teams, obviously, around the country that have emerged. When you talk about the Big 12 with Baylor, obviously, and Iowa State and so many others. But this team certainly can compete with the best of them. They showed that the other night in the tough loss at Alabama.
Yeah.
That they're back and ready to compete. And is there a better one-on-one scorer than Sasser? I mean, that's a rhetorical question, but I can't. I don't need many more than one or two fingers to think of guys that might be able to compete with him scoring, because he can score as well as anyone single-handedly in the country.
So nothing to see on the review. Trap, Boone with the steal to Williams inside, who goes down, and that's going to be a push on Marcus Sasser.
The Boones, they just got to string together
some consistency.
Yes, yeah, because they do great things. Thanks for finding the word. Yeah, you want consistency, but that was such a great decision. Coaches talk about getting a good shot and turning it into a great shot. And that's exactly what Keelan did right there. I mean, he had a wide open three, which is a good shot, especially being down by 8, and then he turned it into a great shot, getting it to Williams for an easy layup. And Williams was fouled.
Williams going to the towel for this free throw attempt. Oklahoma State has the guy they want on the line. He's 11-12 here tonight, shooting 80% from the stripe this season. Got a career high 5 steals. So followed up a career high in scoring with a career high in steals. And it's a 6-point game with 1:06 left. Here comes more pressure. To Fabian White. 3 defenders on him. And that's going to lead to a foul.
Yeah, this is something that won't show up on the stat sheet. And coaches likely know, but sometimes maybe not even show up in a film session. But Fabian White has been excellent.
Oh yeah.
Late in the game when he's got the ball in his hands. He made a very good decision here a moment ago with a trap. He made a great decision with the pass out of the double team to Shed with the Sports Center 3.
Yeah.
And then just there. So when that happens, you want those guys on the floor and you want the ball in their hands as often as you can get it there.
Gets the split at the line. Oklahoma State in hurry-up mode. Anderson for 3. It's short. Edwards with the rebound. And Oklahoma State gonna harass him and foul. And Walker and Shed quick to help Edwards up. While we're talking about Fabian White, he's trying for his 99th win tonight. Fabian White is on pace to finish his career as the winningest player in Houston history. That's saying a lot because there's been a lot of great ones and a lot of wins at U of H.
Dion, hand it over. Now, how does that make you feel?
Like a part of me is missing.
Gabrielle?
This Old Spice Fiji hand and body lotion has me smoother than ever.
That's what it does.
Take the west side, take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. I hear him chatting.